Hello my keto peeps, it's Samaya and welcome back to my channel, I Don't Sugarcoat. Today's video is going to be my weekly update. I know I didn't get to one last week, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do week 59 and week 60 in this one video. So let's get started. Okay, you guys, so as I said, I know I didn't do an update video last week, and that was mostly just due to, I just had a lot of things going on and I kind of wasn't feeling good, and then my cycle ended up starting at the end of that week, so it just was a week that was just like, not that great for me. So I just really wasn't feeling much like doing a video, if I'm being honest. And not to mention, it just really didn't feel like, it was that eventful. I didn't feel like I had all that much to share. So I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze in these 2 weeks into one. I'm not gonna talk about what I ate last week, but I will tell you what my weight was like. So let's go into this week and what I ate this week. Okay, so starting with this Sunday. So this Sunday I had 8 ounces of beef chuck roast, and I just cooked that in my Instant Pot. I had some cauliflower mushroom rice, and that's just, some rice cauliflower that I chop up some mushrooms and a little bit of onions, and I toss in a little bit of chicken stock and just cook that all together, just something really simple. I had that with a salad, and I made some croutons out of my bread. I had some bread in the refrigerator that was getting kind of old, so I took that and I turned that into some croutons, and you guys, it was great. It was really, really fabulous. If you guys want me to make a little video for that, I will totally do that for you. But it's croutons, it's really simple to make. So, just let me know if you guys want to see that video and I'll totally do that. But if you guys have not tried it yet, you should totally try it. You can have and enjoy croutons in your salad again. It was totally worth it to me. And I have this really awesome seasoning that I used. It's like a black truffle seasoning, and it does have like 1 carb per serving. So, I do try to use that. I try not to use it that often, but I really do like that seasoning. So, it's just something that's like a guilty pleasure for me. But I put a little bit of that onto my bread and I cooked that in the oven, and it was totally great, and tossed that in my salad, and it was fantastic. You guys really need to make some croutons out of my bread recipe. You're not going to be sorry. I had some Olive Garden dressing, and I know I said, I tend to stay away from that, and I really do, but I didn't have a packet of the seasoning mix that I like to use for making my own salad dressing. And so, I did have another flavor, but I really didn't want that flavor, and it was just kind of, one of those days, I was going through my cycle and I just kind of wanted what I wanted, and so I was just like, I'll just have this salad dressing. Even though I knew it was going to make me bloat a little bit, I was like, I don't care, I'm not going to eat that much, so I just had it anyway. To help with my fat count, I had some cheesecake, and that was the cheesecake that I made in the video for you guys when I show you how to take the graham crackers that we made and make a crust for cheesecake. So I ate on some of that this week. My numbers for that meal were 22 grams of net carb, 112 grams of fat, and 89 protein, and usually I stay within the 20 net carb range, but I really wanted some extra cheesecake, you guys. Like when I'm on my period, like I can't help it. I crave sweet things more than I normally do. So instead of having one serving, I wanted 1.5 serving, and that pushed me over. But I didn't end up eating all my food. So it was more like 19 or 20 net carbs because I didn't complete my meal that day. So, you know, I guess that was, you know, okay, because it kind of all evened and averaged out. But yeah, so moving on to Monday. Monday, you guys, I had fish and shrimp tacos, and I haven't had them in a while, you guys, and I really love them, and I really enjoy this recipe. It's not my recipe, but it is a recipe that I really do love, and maybe one day I will make it on this channel and share it with you guys, because I just love and adore it. You know, it's just the tacos just are really light, you know, they're not heavy because it's fish, it's seafood. So, you know, they're just awesome. I really enjoy them. And I used my my lupin flour tortilla recipe that I was working on, and I told you guys that I was going to try the recipe again with some golden flaxseed, and I did, and they turned out fantastic. I even put a little bit of corn extract in it that I have just to make it more like a corn tortilla. And so I totally loved it. I loved the way it turned out. They were very bendable, very pliable. And I even took a picture and I posted it to my Instagram and in my keto group and on my Facebook page. So if you guys aren't following me on those, you guys should totally follow me on those, because like I said, I try to post my dinners on there so you guys can see what I'm eating and stuff, you know, like just stuff that I can't do on YouTube, I try to do on there. So you guys should totally make sure you follow me on that so you can see my meals some days. And on Monday, I had a salad to go with that. And again, I had some Olive Garden dressing, and I had this homemade fish taco sauce that I eat with the tacos. It's really great, you guys. And then for my fat, to help with my fat, I had 2 brownies. And you guys, when I tell you this brownie recipe that I have come up with is so awesome, you guys are gonna love it. And I'm gonna make this video for you guys. That should be coming in a couple days, you guys. And it's got an ingredient in it, and it's, you know, it's gonna make you guys probably, you know, be like, what? And some of you might be a little bit hesitant, but I will totally talk about that with you guys when I make that video. I don't want to tell you what that ingredient is just yet, but I will say that the brownies came out fantastic. And I had been trying to perfect the recipe the whole time I have been on my keto journey. And I don't know if I just did not find a good recipe in the time that I've been doing keto the last 14 months, but you know, I just never found one that I liked. And so now I created my own, and it is so amazing, you guys. I cannot wait to share it with you. I cannot wait for you guys to try this out and taste it. And I had an ounce of pecans that day, and I had like 2 bites of cookie dough Rebel ice cream. Like I thought I was gonna, you know, just have like a brownie and then some of the Rebel ice cream, because as I told you, when I'm on my cycle, I crave sweets more often than what I normally do. But I didn't really want the ice cream. I just kind of wanted the brownies. So I had like 2 bites of that, and I put it in the freezer, and then I just had 2 brownies instead. So my numbers for that meal was 20 grams of net carbs, 88 grams of fat, and 65 grams of protein. But my numbers are a little bit off because I do have the Rebel ice cream added on there, and I didn't adjust my numbers. So my numbers are probably just a little bit lower than that because I did not eat that serving of ice cream. Also, they're probably, you know, off just by a little. On Tuesday, Tuesday, I had fish and shrimp tacos again because they are just that fantastic and I love them. And I had 2 brownies and 2 servings of pecans to help with my fat count that day. My numbers were 19 grams of net carbs, 94 grams of fat, and 74 grams of protein on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you guys, okay. So Wednesday, my meal was a little bit weird because I had something extra that I was not planning on, that was not a part of my original meal for the day. So my original meal that day was, I had St. Louis style pork ribs with steamed broccoli. But I was also working on my pasta recipe and I'm still working out a little bit kinks. So that is coming soon. I mean, I think I've got it just the way I want it, but I'm testing out different methods of cooking it and stuff like that. But I'll talk about that later. Anyway, so that day I was sorry. Sorry about that, you guys. If you could hear my alarm going off, I always forget to try to turn these things off, but it is what it is. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So that day I was playing around with my pasta recipe, and so I decided to, cook some of the noodles, and I made a bacon carbonara sauce for it, just so I can see how I liked it and whatnot. And so I had a small serving of that, along with my ribs and my broccoli. And yes, that seems kind of weird, because to have that pasta with ribs and broccoli, but that's because it was not originally planned for that night. Excuse me. And then to help with my fat count, I had 2 servings of pecans and 1 brownie. My numbers for the day were 16 grams of net carbs, 106 grams of fat, and 81 grams of protein. On Thursday, I had fish and shrimp tacos again. I know, 3 days this week, but as I said, I really love them. And I had made a lot, not really a lot, but I made enough for me and my husband, but my husband is not really that big of a fan of the fish tacos. Like, sometimes he'll eat it, sometimes he won't, and so he didn't eat it this week. So I was happy, more for me. So I had it 3 days this week, and I had to help with my fat count, I had a piece of cheesecake and then 1 ounce of pecans. My numbers for Thursday were 17 grams of net carbs, 113 grams of fat, and 87 grams of protein. Okay, and yesterday I had 10 ounces of salmon and then 5 ounces of cauliflower rice. And then I had 1 cup of strawberry rebel ice cream and 1 ounce of pecans. And then today, you guys, I had fajitas again. Like, I know I just had fajitas like 2 weeks ago, but they were so great then, and they were even more amazing today, or at least it felt that way to me. Like, they were just awesome. And so I was just like so happy with it. Like, I only had 1 of my tortillas left, so I couldn't eat that all the way with the meal. So I just made like a side of cauliflower rice that I seasoned with my homemade taco seasoning that I use. And so I just threw that in there and I ate it together, you guys. It was so good. It was so delish. And I can't talk about it enough. Maybe one day we'll make fajitas on this channel because they are awesome and they were so good. And to help with my fat count, I had 1 cup of strawberry rebel ice cream, which is the second serving, well, not the second, but the other half of my rebel ice cream. So I had half yesterday and the other half today. And I had 1 brownie and 1 cup of pecans. And I know, like, you can see that I've had way more sweets than what I normally have, But like I said, when I'm on my period, I totally just crave sweet things like nobody's business. But my numbers for today were 19 grams of net carbs, 107 grams of fat, and 89 grams of protein. And like my numbers were kind of high this week, you know, like I usually try to stay away from getting even up to 20 net carbs, even though that's not a lot, but like, you know, usually most of my carbs come from, you know, my vegetables or whatnot that I get in. And I try not to get too high in the fat, and especially not that high in protein. Like I had a lot of protein this week, but you know, I just kind of was just wanting to eat whatever I wanted to eat. But I usually manage my numbers better than that, but you know, it's whatever. You know, I kind of get like that when, you know, my cycle comes. I just kind of want to eat whatever I want to eat, and you know, just trying to make myself feel better, I guess. Okay, so let's just get into my weight, what I weighed. Okay, so let's go back to, okay, today is the 22nd. We're gonna go from I would say the 8th then. Let's go to the 8th and talk about what was going on with my weight. So last Saturday I weighed in at 227.6. Okay, and then on Sunday 2 weeks ago, I was up 6 ounces, 228.2. And then that following Monday, I was up another 2 ounces. I weighed in at 228.4. And then that, what's that, Wednesday? I think that's Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday, I was 228.2. And then on Thursday, I was back down to 227.6. So my week, throughout that last week, my weight just kind of fluctuated. And at the time, I really wasn't, you know, like sure what was going on, because I really wasn't paying attention to the fact that it was the week of my cycle. And I just had a lot of stuff going on and things, you know, just, a lot of stuff on my mind. So I wasn't paying attention to the fact that my period was about to start. And so, usually, well, not usually, but like when it comes to how my body has been handling my period with keto and everything, it's kind of like half and half. Like half the time I will you know, have some bloating, and then I'll be holding on to a couple extra pounds. And then the other half of the time, nothing happens and I'm still able to lose weight throughout my cycle. So, you know, it just kind of depends. Like, I don't know, I can't really dictate or tell, you know, how it's going to happen. But yeah, so this was just one of those times where I had some pre-bloating before my cycle started, and then I held on to a couple of pounds throughout the whole process. So that's kind of what went on with my weight last week and this week, because my cycle started like at the end of last week and it went throughout to the middle of this week. And so, you know, my weight just kind of fluctuated up and down. Yeah, on the 13th, I was 226.8, and then I stayed the same weight on the 14th, 226. Oh no, on the 14th, I was 226.6. So I had lost 2 ounces, but on the 25th, I was 227.8. So I was up. And then the 16th came and I was 227.2, so I had lost 6 ounces, and then on the 17th I was 226.8, so I lost another 4 ounces. But then on the oh no, actually that one is wrong. Okay, so but then on the 17th I was 228.2, so I had jumped up 1 pound and 4 ounces. And when that happened, that was like when I was like, you know, all the way in, you know, in my cycle. So my weight went up, and then it started to slowly come back down. By the 19th, I was 227.6. The same thing on the 20th. Then yesterday I was 226.4, and today I weighed in at 226.4. So as you can see, throughout the last 2 weeks, my weight, you know, fluctuated up and down throughout my period and whatnot, and that just kind of happens sometimes. So like, you know, my last cycle, it didn't do that. My last cycle, I just continued to lose weight and I had no fluctuation. But I think the time before that, it did the exact same thing that it's doing now. So it's kind of weird to, you know, determine how that's going to happen or whatnot. But you guys let me know in the comments, ladies, if any of you experience that when you're on your cycle, and since you've been going through keto, do you notice that you experience weight fluctuations? And is it all the time or some of the time? You know, comment and let me know if you want. But yeah, so my weight just, you know, it was just up and down. I didn't really lose much weight throughout these last couple of weeks, but you know, that's okay, because you know, this is to be expected sometimes, you know, when I get to this point every month. So you know, it just kind of depends. I did not work out this week. You know, I'm not the type of person that really likes to work out when I'm on my period. I just, you know, I'm already feeling grumpy and icky. So, you know, working out is just not where my head is at. And not to mention, I usually like to go swimming after working out. So 9 times out of 10, I go swimming after I work out every time. And that I can't do when I'm on my period. So, you know, there was really, I felt no point for me going to go work out, because you know, that's how I like to cool down after a nice good workout. Even though I still work out in the pool, but the nice cool water just cools me off, cools me down, and you know, it just lets my muscles relax and stuff. And I feel, to me, after, you know, getting in the pool later on in the day after I've had my workout, I feel like I'm not as sore as I would have been. So, you know, there's that. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? So I know I did not post a food video, and I will be posting one in the next couple of days. I'm actually going to post the brownie video like I said, but my reasoning for not having posted a video is because as I said in a couple videos ago or something, I told you guys I was going to be getting some new cameras, you know, because I want to be able to give you guys that top-down view from up top. So I want you to be able to see me in front and from up top, you know, so you can really see and get a good feel for what I'm doing. And so I just got one of my cameras, and the other one will be coming in this coming up week. So I really just kind of wanted to wait, because some of the recipes that I want to do, I feel as though you really do need to have both of those views so you can be able to follow along with me with what I'm going to be doing, especially when it comes to this pasta recipe that I'm hoping to be able to put out really soon. I don't want to say it's complicated, but it's definitely something that you're going to really need to be able to see up close and, you know, be able to get a good feel of what I'm doing. Excuse me. So I want you guys to be able to have that view for some of these videos I got coming up. So that's my reason for not really posting, because, you know, you guys only get to see me from the front and you really don't get a good look at the food and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, now that I've got my cameras on the way, you know, you guys will be able to really get involved and get immersed in, you know, what I'm doing. So yeah, so you'll get maybe 1 or 2 videos from me before I switch over to using my cameras. But I am actually using my one of my cameras, the one that I just purchased. I'm using that now to record this video on. As you can see, I have my cell phone right here, so I'm not recording on my cell phone anymore. So soon, you guys, really soon, I'm gonna have everything set up and be able to give you guys better quality videos. I can't wait. You know, I'm really excited about that. Let's see. You guys, the gallon of water a day challenge. I am just gonna chalk that up to a failure. I tried, you guys, but I cannot manage to drink a gallon of water a day. And no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, like, you know, I don't even think about it. You know, like you drink when you're thirsty, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not something that's constantly on my mind. So it's so hard trying to remember to keep trying to drink this water. So, you know, I'm just not getting the job done, you know? So I even got my bottle sitting right here. It's right here. It's all nice and full, but trying to drink 2 of those in a day, it feels impossible. So I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Let me see. Is there anything else I want to share? Oh yes, there is one more thing. I have a non-scale victory for you guys. I'm totally happy to share this with you guys. Okay, so since starting my keto journey, you guys, I have mostly just been wearing like stretch pants and like tank tops or whatnot, because it's usually pretty warm here in Texas. So, you know, I don't really have to put on a whole lot of winter style clothing or whatever. And, you know, it's kind of great because, you know, I don't have to spend a lot of money on clothing throughout this transitional period, because I just refuse to buy a new wardrobe every time I drop down to a new size. So that's why I like, you know, just wearing stretch pants and stuff, because they're inexpensive and they're stretchy. I can get, you know, a much longer wear time out of them than if I go out and I buy jeans every time I drop down to a new size. You know, these, I wash them, they shrink a little bit. So, you know, I get much more wear out of these stretch pants than I do, you know, jeans or whatnot. So I went to the store to get some more today, and I just thought, you know what, I'll just try to buy a size large and see if that works, because I know from the last time that I had oh my goodness. Okay, so my camera totally just cut out on me, and I'm gonna figure out if there's a way to make it not do that, like it just automatically stops recording. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if there's a way for it not to do that, or I don't know. I'll try to get it figured out. But anyway, as I was saying, so I decided to buy a size large to see if I could get into it. And long story short, you guys, it totally fit. I was so ecstatic earlier, you guys, like really super happy about that, just because, you know, I'm down to another size. And there's no more X in front of my pants size. You know what I'm saying? No more extra large or double X, triple X. I think at one point I even was up to a 4XL. So yes, now I am in a size large, and that is just, it just feels so great. You know what I'm saying? It's like such a huge accomplishment for me because, you know, I've lost 150 pounds. And so, you know, I don't know, like, this is just more than I could have ever dreamed of a little over a year ago. You know, I did not think I would be this far, you know, having made this much progress, you know. So today was just really awesome. And you know, I don't know, I really can't put it into words how great it felt, you know. But all I kept thinking about was, you know, once I get to my next goal, which is to be under 200 pounds, then I should be in a size medium. And just the thought of that just like really blew my mind, you guys. Like, because I haven't been a medium in, oh God, I can't even remember when. Probably high school, you guys, and that was like 20 something years ago. Like, yeah, that was probably the last time I was in a medium. So I am super excited, you know, like, just happy with my progress right now, and things are just, they just keep moving along, and I keep progressing. And even though I'm not progressing at the rate that I want to, that's fine. I keep seeing some form of you know, success, you know, even though it might not be where I want it to be, or it might not be happening via the scale and the numbers are getting smaller or whatnot. You know, it could be measurements or getting into a new size, just, you know, anything. So even though I didn't have much in the way of stuff happening with my weight and being able to see some visual stuff happening on the scale, you know, because everything was up and down all week long. But being able to try on a new size and have it fit and fit comfortably, that was, you know, the greatest thing about the last 2 weeks for me. So, you know, I don't know, I'm really happy about that. So if you guys have any, you know, victories or achievements or whatever that you want to share, please share them in the comments. I love hearing people's stories and hearing about people's journeys, you know. That type of stuff helps keep me going. So please share. I would love to hear it. I don't think I have anything else to share. Like I said, things weren't that eventful these past couple of weeks. So I think that's about it, you guys. Yeah, I think that's all. But before I get out of here, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel, everybody who is, you know, watching, who is being supportive. You guys have been really great, leaving awesome comments, or to the people who have sent me private messages. And you guys have just been really great, really inspiring, really nice and supportive. And I can't thank you enough for that, because, you know, stepping out and starting this YouTube channel was not the easiest thing for me. So you guys, you know, giving me your support, it just means the world to me, and it just really gives me the drive to keep going and doing this and making videos for you guys. So thank you so much to all of you. I really appreciate and love every one of you. So I think that's going to be it for this week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe, and don't forget to hit that little bell so you can get a notification whenever I put out a new video. And until next time, you guys, bye.